because we are coming for you and your rotten system. We are coming to dismantle this deeply oppressive, racist, sexist, violent, utterly bankrupt system of capitalism, this police state. We cannot and will not stop until we overthrow it and replace it with a world based instead on solidarity, genuine democracy, and equality. A socialist world. Thank you.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You gotta love it when the Democrats get red-pilled by their own policies. Like I've told you guys before, in order to red-pill a Democrat, just give them what they want. Just give them what they want. And on the left coast of the United States, the Democrats essentially are getting what they want because the left coast is being ran by socialists, right? It's being overtaken by radical socialism, which has turned a lot of these big liberal cities on the West Coast into shitholes. No, I mean, literally, they have become shitholes. That is the best way I can describe it, okay? And this story right here will prove it, as we have to talk about Miss Kshama Sawant, who's a avowed socialist on the Seattle City Council, who has made a name for herself being, again, a radical socialist and also pushing some of the most radical portions of the Democrat agenda, like, for example, defund the police. I mean, this woman hates the police so much that she basically celebrated when Antifa took over a police precinct during the Antifa/BLM riots of 2020. Take a look.
It was only one battleground in a long and hard fight that we have to continue. The East Precinct is not just any precinct. It was the flagship of the Seattle Police Department, and it has now been taken away from them.
Local reports about earlier this week how you opened the doors of City Hall to protesters. We have some video here showing, I think it was almost 1,000 people or so who were inside of City Hall. The president, as I know you're aware, has threatened to intervene in your city, and he's called actually protesters domestic terrorists, anarchists as well. Can you give me your reaction to that?
I think what's happening is this incredible movement, this uprising, this rebellion that's not just in Seattle, but nationwide, including in cities like Boise, Idaho, is incredibly inspiring to the vast majority of American people, but it is also threatening to the right wing and the reactionary agenda of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a coward, and it is it's not surprising, but it is horrific for him to threaten entire cities like Seattle and working people and ordinary people and our Black and brown community members who are courageously protesting against police violence, threatening them with further escalation and with military targets. I think it is, we have to absolutely reject this idea. And in fact, in that spirit, on Monday, I will be bringing in legislation to vote to ban the use of all chemical weapons and crowd control so-called crowd control weapons against protest movements, and to ban chokeholds. It's extremely important that we take this historic moment to win real victories against police violence, defund by at least 50%, and fight for an independently elected oversight board over the police.
So essentially this Seattle City Council woman pushed to defund the police, and she basically got what she wanted, as the Seattle Police Department has a 30-year low in staffing, as police officers left because essentially people like her and her constituents told them, we don't want you here, right? We don't like police. We don't want you. Leave, right? Leave, okay? And that's exactly what they did. Now, this defund the police lawmaker is begging the police for help, accusing them of not doing their job, failing to do their job, or to investigate after she was a victim of a poop drive-by in which somebody threw feces in her yard. Again, now she's begging for police help with her situation. Take a look.
Seattle police are looking for help finding a man accused of throwing bags of feces at the home of City Councilmember Kshama Sawant. Sawant reported several incidents to police this month after her home near the Leschi neighborhood Family friends confronted the suspect and were able to take several photos as that person ran away. Councilmember Sawant sent a release earlier in the day that read in part, quote, "Most concerning is the very high likelihood that this extreme and hostile behavior is politically motivated and could turn into more serious and dangerous harassment. Anyone with information is urged to call police."
So a couple of years back, at the very pinnacle of the craziness, a city councilwoman in Seattle voted to defund the police. She called them murderers and racists. But she doesn't want to defund the police who protect her. She actually wants the police to protect her. She's demanding it for the second time. Our Northwest crime correspondent Jason Rance joins us with an exclusive report on this. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Tucker. Socialist Seattle City Councilman Kshama Sawant says she is the victim of a drive-by poop thrower. She says a man has thrown a bag of human waste at her home 6 times this month, and she's now demanding that the Seattle Police Department not only prioritize the investigation, but post officers outside of her home for protection. Now, just for context, the SPD lost nearly 500 officers since her defunding campaign, and it's gotten so bad we've gone weeks without investigating sex crimes because we didn't have enough staff. So a nonviolent poop thrower is obviously not a high priority. But how's this for bizarre? She's criticizing the cops for not sending the human waste to a lab for forensic testing. And she noted in a press release, quote, "That seems quite odd considering that hospital labs do tests on human fecal matter all the time." I'm not entirely sure what she thinks she's going to actually get from the fecal testing. Ma'am, we've narrowed down the suspect to someone who has irritable bowel syndrome. I'm not sure what she expects. So in this open letter that she wrote to the police chiefs, she said, quote, "As a Socialist city council member who has participated in BLM protests, I'm being told that my case of 6 threatening incidents involving human excrement doesn't merit even a serious investigation, let alone protection." Yes, that's exactly what she's being told. This is not the first time the police defunder has asked for special treatment. She's made the same demands last year after receiving threatening emails. Now, police tell me this is an open investigation. I should know, Tucker, if police do end up making an arrest, thanks to the criminal justice reforms that Sawant backs, it's not a bookable offense. So they're not spending time in jail.
It's got to be one of the worst people I've ever heard about, ever. I could make a million bitter jokes about it. I'm not going to. Jason Rance, really appreciate your report on that.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? This is hypocrisy at its finest. Again, I never run out of content to talk about with the Democrats when it comes to their hypocrisy because it is truly never ending, okay? You have a socialist Seattle City Councilwoman who is boohoo, whining, and complaining, begging for 24-hour police protection from poop drive-bys, right? Poop drive-bys, okay? A non-violent offense that because of the criminal justice reforms that she backs, again, even if the person was to be booked, okay, they wouldn't spend any time in jail for it, right? So again, you get what you ask for, right? This is how you red pill Democrats. Give them what they want. They don't understand how bad, stupid, ludicrous, impractical their policies are until you actually let them have it, right? Let them have it, right? Let them run their own cities because they run their cities into the ground, and this is what ends up happening. They turn around and they say, oh, well, how did this happen? Why is my city so bad? Why are the police not responding to the poop drive-by? Where's my protection? I need protection. I need 24/7 protection. Not you, the people that are living in these crime-ridden neighborhoods because we don't want to lock up criminals because we think that locking up black people is racist. We also want to take your gun so you don't protect yourself. You can't protect yourself. We want to defund the police. No, you should not have any protection. But me, as a politician, as a special person, a Democrat, I need to have as much police protection as possible because you know mean words.
The thing, I won't let them get that off. You can't get that off. I'm going to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety nets.
Yeah, so she ended up spending $500,000 in campaign cash, okay, on police protection while calling to defund the police. $500,000, guys, for private security. Cori Bush, right, one of the main Defund the police Democrats, probably the only Democrat at the national level still openly calling the defund the police. She spent $500,000, $500,000 on protection, guys. Again, this is hypocrisy at its finest. Hypocrisy at its finest. These people that claim to be for the working class, for the little guy, right? That's what the socialists say. We love socialism because we want to share the wealth, right? We want to take from the rich and give to the poor. We want economic and social justice. But you're carrying yourself as an elite, right? You're carrying yourself as an elitist. You're getting rich, right? Making all types of money, pushing your garbage and your nonsense while advocating for policies that you actually really don't believe. You don't believe in this. You don't believe in defund the police, at least not for you. So again, why are you pushing on the rest of society? But again, there's only so much I can say because the constituents, their constituents, they vote for this stuff. This is what they vote for. They vote for hypocrites. They vote for people who want rules for thee, but not for me. So at the end of the day, hey, what can I say about Seattle? What can I say about Portland? What can I say about Los Angeles? What can I say about San Francisco, New York, Chicago? You get what you vote for. These are the people y'all are putting in power, knowing that they're hypocrites. They don't believe the things they say, and you're suffering for it. These cities have turned into shitholes. Literally, evidenced by this story right here, okay? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.